Welcome back, friends. It's Savage Sasquatch from GamingReportCard.com, and we're playing Call of Duty World War II on the Xbox One X here today. And I wanted to go over a few tips here for you guys. It's going to be 7 tips to help you guys succeed. I know it's just after Christmas, and a lot of people have gotten the game for the first time, didn't pick it up on release. So I wanted to give some basic tips that will help you get better, that will help you have a better kill-death ratio, that will just help you encounter all-around more success and enjoyability as you play. So I'm going to go over these real quick, and then we're going to play a match and try to put them into practice as much as possible. The first one is, you've probably heard this before, but maybe you haven't. Don't sprint everywhere. Staying still is not your enemy, and that doesn't necessarily mean camping, but it means that don't rush headlong, because if you run into somebody and you are sprinting and they are not, then you are more likely to die in the firefight because they are going to be able to pull up their gun quicker than you are if they're sprinting, or they may already have their gun up. The second thing is kind of tied to that. Go around every corner expecting an enemy. If you do this, you're more likely to kill somebody if they are there. If you go around expecting that somebody's going to be there, you won't be shocked when you see somebody. And while that sounds kind of common sense, a lot of times people, they will sprint around corners and then all of a sudden they'll find themselves dead, their kill streak is over, or whatnot. So, also tied to this, don't chase revenge. If somebody kills you, oftentimes it'll spawn you near them and give you a chance to go back after them. Don't necessarily just go gunning for them, because they know what they're doing, they're on their game, and they will often be ready for you. So I talked about corners a second ago. Number 4 here is you want to reload your gun. This is common sense, and you would think that this would be easy, but don't be reloading your gun as you go around a corner. You greatly will increase the chance that you're going to get killed if this happens. The next thing that I have here is, it's common sense, but most people don't think of this when they're first starting out. Get to know the levels. Learn what the lines of sight are. You know, like, for example, the USS Texas is the big boat map. And if you are on that map, you don't want to run and sprint headlong down the side of the map that has the big open lines of sight if you're playing a shotgun, because you're open to all the sniper fire. You want to go inside the boat where it's close quarters combat. Similarly, if you're playing with a sniper rifle, you don't want to be in those tight corners. You want to play what's favorable for you. So just know the lines of sights on a level and get into favorable engagements. Let's see. The last couple of things we have here is try out different guns. Not every gun is great for every player, and there are some guns that are just substandard. You know, I'll just say a couple of my favorites. I'm going to do a whole video more about like some of the best guns, but just going into some of my favorite guns, the BAR is probably the best gun in the game. Here, we're just going to go through the different types. The STG 44 is very good. A lot of people like the M1941. I didn't have as much success as some did with that, but if you put a scope on it, what's it called, reflex sight, then that becomes a lot better. And that's one of the things that's important, is trying different things. Like if I'm using this, as you can see, we've got a good number of variants for this. I like this one. So if I'm using this, I want the reflex sight, and most guns you want quick draw. You know, try some different. Before you write off a gun, make sure to try some attachments, because when you play with this with the reflex sight, it gets significantly easier to kill people. Quick draw is always just going to help you get the jump on people, aim faster. So you want that on pretty much every gun that you use. And you want to be aiming down the sights most of the time, but don't discount how good hip fire can be. So anyway, I said I was going to go through some of my favorites. I used the STG-44 for a while. The FG-42 is really good, but you don't get it till rank 45, which is close to the end. The BAR, you don't even get to like level 52. I've used one of my prestige tokens on it, because in my opinion it is the best gun in the game. Another early good gun is the PPSH-41. The Type 100 is also very strong, and I like the M1928, but that again is another late game gun. I'm not a big fan of the LMGs, although I've heard the MG42 here, once you unlock your once you prestige your, what is it, your armored division, then that unlocks for you, and I've heard that's a very good gun. I use the Lee Enfield a lot. I haven't unlocked it this time around yet, just because I've unlocked the Kar 98. The Kar 98 is the best sniper rifle pretty much in the game, in my opinion, and but the Lee Enfield is also very good. I've heard a lot of people swear by the M1903. And shotguns, if you're going to use them, the combat shotgun is often a one-hit kill. The toggle action shoots a lot faster, so, you know, if you don't kill them with the first one, you're often going to kill them with the second, and you probably won't kill them with the first one. So anyway, so know your guns, and lastly, as we jump into a match of Kill Confirmed here, understand that your teammates might, if you're playing a objective-based game, not just something like Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed is pretty easy too, but even then it's not a given. Your teammates might not be playing the objective. I've been frustrated enough times in a match where, you know, I've got a guy on my team who's running around and he's like, you know, 30-4, and, you know, you think you got Superman on your team until you look and you're playing domination and he hasn't even hit one capture point, not even the one that starts literally right in front of you. He's not even trying with any of the objectives. All he's doing is he's farming kills, trying to get his kill death up. And a lot of times that can help, but a lot of times people just camp out of the way areas. So this map is a good example, like I was saying before, of one where you really got to be careful where you run out to. That side of the boat we're looking at right now, very good for snipers. Inside of the boat, very good for close range, and the opposite side of the boat from that open area is very good for anybody who's like short to mid-range. So we are going to go back to our mountain division here for our daily that we're trying to do. Use our bar. We've got ordnance for easier kill streaks and being able to re-roll our supply drops. It's very handy. So this is the side I always go to, the side that has this open hatch, because I don't want to be sniped. So right here, we're going to start expecting people. There we go. It's a good start. Shotguns, see? We were in a shotgun area trying to use our rifle. It's not that it doesn't always work, but a lot of people camped right here because this is a great place to camp for folks who have rifles. Gosh, didn't know that there was going to be a third one there. I also use the S-mine a lot. Man, there's a laggy fellow. Really? You gotta be kidding me. We're gonna go after this guy. We can't let him just keep doing whatever he wants to in our spawn.
Enemy care package observed.
Alright, no more folks in my base. Going for some favorable lines. There we go. Double check in here. Plant a mine right here because that's a place where they like to come up and sneak around.
They advance to the bow.
Gosh. Stuck with a reload. Oh, it didn't. Oh, they have a counter recon. Oh, gosh. Our team is not good about watching our own spawn. Myself included.
Let's
see if he's trying to come through here. He is not. So is he up here?
I think he's down. Enemy recon aircraft observed.
Mine goes here. I'm gonna go up here because they could be trying to sneak down, and they are. Once again, our team is letting everybody in.
Observed. Enemy counter recon aircraft observed.
They will not let us have
Care package observed.
our
Stop
recon.
resupply. Kill confirmed.
I should have taken that flak gun. Did they really call in a supply drop right on our side of the ship?
Enemy flamethrower observed. Get to cover. There's one in the open. Kill confirmed. Recon searching for targets.
Alright, so we got our recon up. I am tired of being camped in my own base. So we need to expect that. Like, if it starts happening regularly, we're not even halfway through the match, we know to expect them in our spawn regularly. I mean, I'm not doing great, but I'm also not doing horrible. 10 and 11 isn't abysmal. I know to some it is. But we're also playing an objective-based game. So right now I'm doing a really bad job of practicing what I preach. I am not going around expecting to find a person around a corner. I'm going around expecting them to find them where I expect to find them, but... Alright, we're off to our infantry division where we should have a little more... Good night.
Kill confirmed. Recon aloft. We have eyes in the sky. Kill denied. Kill confirmed. The galley! Moving on the... Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Kill denied. Kill confirmed. Recon aircraft awaiting orders. Recon aloft. We have eyes in the sky. I got it. Fighter aircraft scrambled. Call the target. Care package on the way. Protect the drop zone. Fall back. Retreat.
So we went 21-19, 17 confirmed, by far the top person on our team. I mean, that was, sometimes if you're on a really bad team, you just can't help but get your teeth pushed in. And I mean, we would have died a lot less times if we didn't get spawn killed. I'd say about half our deaths were that exactly, dying in our starting area. Because when the second place player on your team has 5 kills, you are in trouble. At double digits for everybody on the other team. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. you know, there wasn't any just stellar gameplay. Sometimes you end up in a tougher match, but I did want you to be able to see some of that in practice. So I'm just going to read through these one more time in no particular order. Number 1, don't sprint everywhere. Being still is not your enemy. Number 2, go around each corner expecting an enemy. Number 3, no levels and lines of sight. Find favorable firefights for the weapon you're using. Number 4, trying out different guns. If it doesn't work for you after you've put a couple attachments, move on to another gun. There's plenty of guns to try. You don't have to, you know, master them all. You don't have to use them all. Not all guns are created equal, the bar being king, for example. Number 5, reload before you go around corners. Don't die reloading your gun as you go around into the enemy's line of sight. Number 6, don't chase revenge. People will gun you down multiple times, and a lot of times you lose your cool, you lose your edge if you keep going after them and getting frustrated. And lastly, be aware that your teammates may not be chasing the objectives in games. That guy with the high kill death rate but hasn't done anything for the objective, he's not actually helping the team as much as you think he is. He's just trying to work his kill death ratio into a better position. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope this brings you guys some success. If you do find this helpful or you did enjoy this, make sure to shoot us a thumbs up. We'd love to hear from you in the comments, and above all, please subscribe to the channel. We'll keep plenty more action coming your way. Don't forget to check us out on Twitch. Our channel is Savage Sasquatch Gaming. That's one long word, Savage Sasquatch Gaming. And, of course, you can find us on the website at gamingreportcard.com. So until next time, this is Savage Sasquatch, and I am out of here!